Mm. Good morning, friends.
Morning, sir.
Okay, done. 1 second. 3 participants have joined. Only 15 students. I'm admitting everybody. Is it audible to you guys? Am I audible to you?
Sir.
Is it clear? 19 students. Okay. I'm expecting at least 50% of the candidates to attend the online classes. There is no point otherwise. Oh. There is the rest of the students, I don't know. ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಪಾಟೀಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವ?
ಅದೇನ್ರಿ ಸರ್
ಅದೇ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀನಿ?
ಮನ್ಯಾಗ
ಮೊಸರು ಗುಪ್ಪಿ? How many students? 23. So it is been increasing. Okay, anyway, we should start now. I have admitted everybody. I'll keep on clicking that admit all. There is a button available. So last time we discussed about the basic principles, that is building blocks of object-oriented programming. Okay. So I can say these concepts are, or these principles are the pillars of object-oriented programming. You study any language belong to object-oriented programming language, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, all these things are very important. Now, let us see what exactly the class is all about. The concept of class and objects here. So last time I think I said something about a class. So class is basically a real-time entity consisting of the parameters, data members, and the related function. So those are written to act upon, work on those data here. Without function, data serve no purpose. And without data, function will not do anything. So therefore, both function and data, they have to go together, hand in hand, I can say. So therefore, let us see here, classes provide a convenient approach of packaging. So that is wrapping up together a group of logically related data items and functions. So therefore, data items and functions, they wrapped up into a single entity. That's called as class here. Okay, so these functions written to work on these data here. Okay, so without these functions, you cannot do any activities with this data items here. So C# data items are called fields here. So 2 marks question they may ask you. Define field. So fields in the sense the data variables declared inside or within the class are called as fields. Finish. Okay. The variables or the data members which are within this or declared inside a class are called as fields. And these fields are also called as instance variables. And the functions inside the class are called as methods. So therefore, both instance variables or fields and the methods or the functions, they are wrapped up together as a single whole entity. That's called as class here. So let us consider the following C# program which illustrates the procedure for definition of defining classes. How do you define class? And then how do you add variables? Very simple. And then let's just systematically we're trying to study that. How to add those methods, and then what are the member access modifiers, such as public, private, protected, something like that. How to create objects of that particular class, and then accessing the class member. So if you study this here, that's all about your object and class here. So therefore, in order to understand this here, we are going to consider a simple sample example here. The program, you can see this program consisting as usual on the top, the namespace that is called a system, where S is capital. Then class is written here. One separate class is written. As I told you, in class, the data members are there. And then fields, variables, okay, instance variables, or declaration of fields and variables. So I declare here, length and width are the fields here, variables, instance variables of int type. Okay, by default, these are private in nature. Remember, by default, if you miss this here, if I delete that, so now these length and width are acting as private here. So therefore, if you make them private, they won't serve any purpose. Sorry, not public. Okay. Therefore, remember, usually our data members are public in nature. P should be small here. Done. I done it here. So all keywords are written in small case. Okay. Especially this S system is capital letter, main M is capital letter, and functions. First letter is capital letter. That we have seen last time. So therefore, this is the member function I've declared. Declaration of fields is over. Now functions. Therefore, both member functions and function, they have wrapped it into a single entity that's called as class here. So this is a class, and I have given a name. This is my identification name here. This is user defined, programmer defined name here. I can give any name here, but usually you have to give a name such a way that it is going to fetch us some meaning here. Unnecessarily, if I give some class Gabbar Singh, it doesn't serve any purpose here. It won't give any meaning here. It's a nonsense, meaningless. Therefore, whatever the class you have, okay, such as its parameters and the related functions. So related to that particular object, I am going to give a name here. Okay. That's all. So rectangle. So rectangle, it has got some parameters such as it has got its length and width. What operation I can do on this rectangle? I can read the parameters of this rectangle. That is called as get data. One function I can read. Unless and until you know the length and width of that particular rectangle, you cannot do any further operation. What other operation I can do with this rectangle? I can find the area of that rectangle. That's all. So these are the two functions here. Methods I have written here. One is to read the data, that is read the parameter, and then find the rectangle here. So therefore, this is data member and this is function. Together, wrapped up as a single entity that's called as class here. So this is how I define here. Now this is a function. Get data is a user-defined function. It's not a built-in or library function here. It is a user-defined, programmer-defined function. So function or a method in the sense it is a set of instruction where I'm going to perform some specific action. A particular action is to be done. Okay, that is called as function here in general. So therefore, so function is consisting some set of instruction here, such as assignment operation. Maybe it is a conditional operation. It may have some looping constructs. Many other things it may have. Now, as a beginner here, you have to consider a simple example here, such as get data. So this function has got two parameters. These are called as uh, formal parameters. These are not actual parameters, formal parameters. You will see what is actual parameter, what is formal parameter. These are called as actual parameter, formal parameter. Definition of method. Definition, and this is what are the instructions you are going to write here. That's called a definition. What exactly this function is going to do it for us. You are going to define it here. So this function is going to do these operations. You go define it here. This is a set of instructions. That's called a definition. So this is called as prototype of a function. A prototype in the sense name of a function. What type of variable or the data type it is going to return. Okay, it is not returning anything. Therefore, I have written void here. Void in the sense nothing, no return type, nothing here. Now I have to find it as a public here. So public I have to function here. Okay, if you make it private here, it is protected. It is useful in inheritance. Now usually we write it as public. And these are called as formal parameters. X and Y are the two parameters or the values here, data variables to hold integer data type. Now, x, the value of x is assigned to length, the value of y is assigned to width. So we have to understand that this function definition is over. I'm going to read something. From where? I have to read something from the main here. So main is written here. So therefore, execution of your program always begin from main. Okay, in the same one program, you may have several classes here, many classes into a single module here. Okay, module is a set of all programs or different classes and methods here. They are integrated together. So therefore, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂದಿರ್ಬೋದು ಹುಡುಗರೇ 29 ಅದರ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. Now here one more class I have defined here, class rect area. Okay, this is the name of the class rect area. In that I have made. So therefore compiler always comes and starts execution from this main here. Okay, main is always written as static here because main is automatically called without any object. Whereas if I want to call this function, get function, I have to associate this get function with respective object here, class. We'll understand later. Okay. So this function cannot be called barely here because it is not a static here. It has to be called with object dot get data. Okay, of this particular class. We cannot call this function of some other different class here. So this function is associated with this particular class and object of this, that is variable of this type, I have to create here. Then object dot function, I can call it here because it is public. But whereas main is static in the sense the function is invoked without associating with any of the object, remember. Without object automatically it is called, therefore it is called a static here. So one thing is clear and it is not returning anything. And if you write here and if you delete it here, automatically it is return type is integer by default, remember. And if you remove this void here, automatically int is preceded. You can write it. If that is the case here, at the end of the program, you have to write explicitly return 0. 0 is integer, return 0. This is practice here. So therefore, instead of doing that circus, what I do is usually I make void as a, main as a void here. Map void, public void static, so public static void main. So this is what you have to write here. Now, these are called as local variables because these are the variables inside this main here. Okay, locally available. Okay, the scope of that variable is local to this body of this main here. So these area 1, area 2, I cannot go and access here, okay, because it is not declared here, local. Therefore, the scope is limited to that main here. So these are called local variables, area 1, area 2. Rectangle. Now you see here, rectangle, it is not a built-in data type. It is not a simple data type. It's not a primary data type, such as, is it an integer? No. Is it a float? No. Is it a float character? No, sir. Then what it is? Rect is a variable or instance of this particular class. You know, the programmer is creating his own data variable but it is not a built-in type, but it is of its own type. So rectangle is a class, it is defined here, rectangle. So rectangle, it is a data type or a class consisting both data and member function wrapped up together. So that is the beauty of object-oriented programming. Therefore, this is the instance now. Instead of I call it as a variable, now this is variable. This is variable of this type. But this I cannot call it as variable. Though it is a variable, but I cannot call now. Henceforth, I start calling it as an instance, an object of this particular class. So therefore, rect1 consisting of both data and member functions associated with this. Rect1 internally consisting of length and width, and then I can call these functions, that is rect read and rect area. So these two functions I can call with the help of this object here. So that is declaration of objects. This is how I declare an object here. This is declared as rect1 is object declared as rectangle type. Now after doing so here, this is what initialization, instantiation of or creation of. This is how I do it here. Rect1 equal to new rect1. So this line you can immediately write it here. Later on we will consider. So first you declare and then you have to newly create it here. This you have to write it here. Okay. New is a new keyword. Rect is equal to new rectangle. So this I can write here. Rectangle rect equal to new what I write? Rectangle. Rectangle. I can do that, no problem. We'll break it up. Okay. But if you miss it here, I don't want this. First I declare and then I instantiate. Both you can do it on the same line. First I declare now, here then I instantiate that. Instantiation of or a creation of object. This is how I am going to create here. Here I declare, by declaring the way, I mean, memory is not allocated. Only once you create new here, once you use new here, associated two memory locations, that is for length and breadth, are allocated from memory, RAM for creation of object. So this is declaration, and then I create. Simultaneously, dynamically printing on the same as I told you. Now, one more thing I can do it here, dynamically creating objects. So second object is created, rect2, dynamically, new rectangle one. So these two lines can be written, and yes, both are same. Both I have given an example. Now, length is the variable associated with what? Class rectangle, and then that is accessed with only objective. So this is the accessing variable. Okay. Accessing variable. This is how I can access. So length of that rect1 is initialized to 15, and width of that particular rect1 is equal to 10. And then rect1 in dot length width is multiplied and assigned to area 1. So this area 1 is declared here, local here. And now, again, this is how I initialize and access the data members. One more way, through function I can access. Accessing through methods, I can do that. Now one example. So for that I associate rect2. Rect2 object, I am going to call a function. Okay. Then these are called as actual parameters. Actually 20 and 12 are here. So once I call this get data and I pass these arguments, these are called as arguments or parameters. Actual parameters. So this 20 and 12 now control comes and the 20 will be copied to this x and y respectively. So now these two are acting as local parameters now for this particular, because the scope is within this body here. Once I come out from this body of this sketch, the value of x and y will be disappear, vanish. They are killed, they die. So therefore, the value of x, that is 20 now, because 20 from here I am calling, I am invoking the function. I call it as invocation. I invoke, I call the function with its name. Okay, I can call you by your name. The same way, I am going to call that particular set of activities with its name here, because these set of activities, it is written here, definition of method here. But these definitions are called by its name. So therefore, to do these operations here, I am going to call by its name here, get data. So get data, I am going to, not only I am calling barely here, some value I am passing here, actual parameter 20 and 10 are copied into this local variable. 20 is copied to x and y is holding what 10 here respectively. Okay. So now that value x, the value of 20 is assigned to length. Now I'm going to access this length and width. Length and width, I can access it. So this is a one more way of accessing the variables, instance variables, fields through function. Okay. Or you can use to what? Dot operation associated with what? Object here. I can simply, I cannot write it here length. Length is equal to either length is equal to 50 wrong. You cannot call directly call them. Okay. Only those members can be accessed with the help of objects of respective class. That is what I cannot do that. This is how I can ensure the security. Data is hidden here. I cannot access it. It is not available to be available everywhere. So that bugs are reduced here. Okay. So that is the called as data hiding. Data has been hidden. Only respective class members are allowed to access it here. So one way is to directly access the member function. One more is what? Through the function. So now through this function, get data now. Now again, area is equal to rect2 dot rect area. Now I'm going to call rect area function, rect area function. But now this time function is associated with object what? Rect2 here. So therefore, rect2 consisting 20 and 12. Whereas rect1 is consisting what? 15 and 10. So rect1 is having its own memory location, whereas rect2 object having its own memory location. Both rect1 and rect2 are having different memory location and their respective contents. So therefore, I'm going to call the same function rect area of rectangle, but now this is associated with different objects. So respective object consisting 20 and 10, 12, those are calculated, and then I'm going to return that. You see here, I'm going to calculate length and width, okay, without any parameters. I'm simply calling associated object here. Respect to object, length and width will be calculated. And that varies, value is copied into this local variable. Each area it is declared, and then I'm going to return it here. So therefore, return area. So return type is integer. You can see here. This is what I am returning. What value you are returning? You are returning integer data type. Therefore, respective data type is written here, return type. Whereas if you see here, this is void here. It is not returning. I'm simply accessing and I just simply coming out. Therefore, it is void here. That's all. Now, after a return value, that value is thrown return, and soon after it is returned, this value, this complete content is replaced by that value. So therefore, that value is substituted here. That is assigned to area 2 here. Is it right? So now the content of area 1 and area 2 are displayed. Both rectangles are different. One is having 15 and 12 as its parameter. There's other object, that is rectangle 2, having 20 and 12. Both are multiplied here, and then value corresponding value is displayed here using console right line. So this is how. Area 1. So this is displayed as it is on the screen. So this is what you can say output here. This is displayed as it is because it is written there in the double quote. Whatever you write here in double quote, that is made to be displayed on the screen here. That is string. As it is, it will be displayed on the screen. Therefore, you can see here A is kept, it is up to equal to. It is all displayed here. Now, plus symbol I have to. This is called as concatenation. Without that concatenation, you cannot combine these two. So this is one syntax you have to remember. Now, what is the content of area? I have not closed it to double quote. This is the variable. If I put it here, double quote here, this also area 1 will be printed instead of 150. Remember. Therefore, instead of printing the content of memory location, what is the content of memory location area 1? That is calculated here. Okay, that is calculated and stored into memory location of RAM, and that memory location name is what? Area 1, and that is holding integer data. That is displayed here. That's all. So this is displayed with the help of write line. Write line is output function readily available in the object called class here. For this console. Okay. This is also member function are associated with always what? Object here. So this object is belong to what? Which class? System class. This is a base class here. Built-in classes here. Therefore, it is written in capital here. Built-in class. Right. So now, same way I display one more. This is the output is displayed right hand because the cursor is got selection because of this line here. If I remove this right, it works here, but it will be displayed here in front. Okay, it will display the picture. Therefore, right line I use here. So simple program is done. So with this, we learn many things here. How class can be declared, how the data instance is variable. So everything is over here. Whatever I told here, this is our definition class. Class keyword is used, okay, and then name of the class is used. Open close brace. Adding variables. What is the adding variable? This is our add variables. I usually keep it public, okay, separated by comma and semicolon at an end. Adding member methods. So this is our add a member methods here, okay. One is returning something, or other one is not returning. Two functions I have. One is having parameters, formal parameters. Other one is not having parameters. It is not returning. This is returning something. All definitions I have written in a function here. What activity I have to do it here? Guys, are you okay? Hello? Hello, friends. Hello? Hello, Adrpa.
Hello, sir.
ये कैसा कथित
Hello,
हो?
sir.
Okay, Aditri.
मत हंगे होयको थोड़न मत में ಮಾಸ್ತರೇ ಹೋಯ್ಕೊಳಕತ್ತ ಹಂಗೆ ಮತ್ ಹಿಂದ ಆ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿಗೋಗಿತ್ತೀರಿ ಏನು ಗುರುಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಿಮ್ಮತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ದೊಡ್ಡವರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತ ಮಜಾ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರು ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ ಮಂಗ್ಯಾನೈತಿ ಲಗ ಹೊಡಿತೈತಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತ್ಕೊಂಡವ್ರು ಕಠಿಣ ಕಾಲ ಬಂದಾವೀಗ ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನಾವು ಆದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಚಲೋ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಕ್ಷತಾ ಚಲೋದಳು ಅಪೂರ್ವ ಶೈನಗಳು ಅನುಷ ಚಲೋದನು ಇಲ್ಲೊಬ್ಬ ಯಾವ ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಸಾರಾಪುರ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇನೋ ನಾನು ಚಲೋ ಅಂತ ಒಟ್ಟೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಚಲೋ ತೋರಪ್ಪ ಗಾಯತ್ರಿ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಬರೀ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಮಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಗದಗಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಾರಪ್ಪ ಇವ್ರ ಬರೀ ರಾಧಾ ರೋಜಿ ತರುತ್ತೀರಿ ಸುಹಾನ ಶಿರೀನ ಶಿವಾನಿ ಸ್ನೇಹ ಸುಜಾತ ತೇಜ ಯಾರವಾಕಿ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಿ ಹುಡುಗರು ಎಲ್ಲದಾರಪ್ಪ ಒಬ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಸರು ಹೆಂಗಸರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಪ್ಪ ಹುಡುಗರೇ ಪಿಂಕಿ ಪಾರ್ವತ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಿ ಮತ್ ನೀವು ಒಬ್ರು ಹುಡುಗರು ಖಾನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇಟ್ಟಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಹೆಸರು ಏನೋ ಹುಡುಗ ನದೀಮ್ ಬದ ನದೀಮ್ ಮಕಾನ್ದಾರ್ नदीम हाय करे
हाय की सर
कुठं करे सगळी राधा रोहिणी ऋतुजा तेच आहेत
पोरं बिझी आहे का सर
हा
बिझी आहे वाटतं आता
काय बिजी काय काम करतात मला आता व्यवस्थित ऐकू येतं ना वा नदीम
हा सर
क्लिअर आहे ना वा
आहे
आता काय अजून एक 10-15 मिनिट आहे संपूया आता हे झालं बघ प्रोग्राम झाला की व्यवस्थित कळालं की
हा सर समजलं
बरोबर So now the same way, whatever you have discussed here, that is written in English, plain English here. You can read it here because you are doing your graduation. Definitely you can read it here and understand. But still, it is my duty. Let us see what is this defining class. How the class is defined. Class is a user-defined data, as I told you. The same thing with a template. Template in this is एक सिक्का जैसा रहता है. वो सिक्का आप कितना भी मारो, एक सिक्का रेडी करो उसे 10 बच्चे लोग आते हैं सर मेरे ऊपर एक सिक्का मार के साइन करो सिक्का मारता हूँ दूसरा सिक्का मारता हूँ template it is I can create n number of instances here readily available template class once you define class तो सिक्का जैसे काम करता है कितना में छापा मारते जाओ बस हो गया any instances you can rect one instance rect two another instance but same template is there template in the sense length and width a member function data members and then function get data and rect area function do functions so any instances you create that instance is associated with respect to data members or member functions and member functions together that is called as template here that serves to define its property versus members data members okay fields that is property once a class has been defined we can create variables of that type using declaration in C# these termed as instances, objects, whatever you discuss is written, the basic form of class definition. Class, keyword, class name, it is a user-defined name here, identifier. Variable declares, I declare variable, and then I declare method declaration, it's done. So where class is a keyword and class name is a very identifier, note that there is a no semicolon here, no semicolon here. Usually in I think C, you have to put a semicolon here, C++. Okay. Here, no semicolon, that's what he is written. That's all. Adding variables. Data is encapsulated in a class by placing data fields inside a class definition. Therefore, as I told you, encapsulation, wrapping up of both data and function. So we can define them exactly the same way as declare local variables. And declare int length, comma, width, finish. Same thing is written. These variables are called as instance variables because they are created whenever an object class is instantiated. Now these variables are created only after I instantiate. Once this particular instruction is executed, then only those variables, associated variables of rect1 are created here. Otherwise, it is blank. Therefore, after adding variables, I can add methods. This is what? A class with only data variable without function that operate on the data has no life. As I told you, both data and function, they have to go together. Only with data, function will not do anything. Only with function, on what that function activity you can do here. Data are associated. Therefore, data and functions are associated with one another here. Okay, we must therefore add methods that are necessary for manipulating data contained in the class. Methods are declared inside the body of a class. Usually after the declaration of instance, after declaration of instance variable only you can define method here. Okay, before declaration of variables here, method you cannot you will not do anything here. Therefore, the general form of method declaration. This is how the method. So what is the type of that method here? Method name, the parameter list here, then body of the method. The body actually describes the operation to be performed the data. So very straightforward. Literature I have given to you. I tried to given to you. This you already studied in Java, but still, after doing this here, we may gain certain confidence actually. And member access modifier. So these are the member access modifiers. You try to remember here: private, public, protected. At least these three. First, these three are essential. These two you can shoot them. Time being, not required as such. Okay, but still, if any question asked here, try to remember the whole table. If you remember the whole table, 5 marks question, you can write it down. So that's right. By writing some programs here in inheritance, we will understand more better. Okay, right now we may get confusion. Last 10 minutes is remaining. Message आया देखो. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay. अच्छा है 10 मिनट खत्म करेंगे. So now about this member access modifiers, we just go through it here. It is, you can understand easily, but still during the complete course of this session here, we will keep on understanding wherever it is required. I'll be explaining. Then only you will understand. Now you simply just go through it here. Now after that here, creative objects here. We have seen two ways how the variable or the object is declared and then instantiated. Or you can declare and then you can instantiate immediately on the same line, dynamic. These are the two ways that is written here. Creating object is also referred to instantiation of object here. Creation object is called as what? Instantiating an object or instantiation of an object here, one and the same. Objects are created using new operator. Remember, it's a key word. The new operator creates an object of that specified class and returns a reference to that object here. So reference is returned to them. Okay. Now let us see. This is one way. Rect1 is an object here. It is just declared. It is not instantiated. It is declaration. Remember, take a look here. Now only after using whom this rect1 is instantiated, the associated member function and data members are now created here physically. RAM in the RAM, that length and width, that is 8 bytes of memory is reserved for rect1 here, because integer is going to consume 4 bytes of memory. Float is going to take 8 bytes of memory here. Character is going to consume 1 byte of memory. 1 or 2, I don't know, remember. 2 bytes, I think. Okay. So now 4 bytes of memory is reserved for rect1 and associated functions are also there. The first statement declares the variable to hold the object reference, and second one actually assigns the object reference to variable. So this is how variable rect1 now is object of a rectangular class. Both statements can be combined in one statement. Both these statements can be combined in, this is what we have seen. This is how. So it is important to understand that each object has its own copy of instance variables, as I told you, and its property by its class. So this means that any changes to variable of that will have no effect on the variable of another. So if I make any changes to rect1 here, rect1 dot length is equal to 20. So rect2 length will not get affected here. Okay. Rect1 length is different. Rect2 object length is different. Both are this consume 8 bytes, and rect2 also associate or has got its own data members. 8 bytes are separate here. That is the meaning of this sentence. Okay, it is our understanding is this is that. So now accessing the class members, how do you access? Using dot operator. Using what? Dot operator. Okay. So and directly I can access the members here, and or else I can access the members member function instance variables with the help of method. That is example is given there on the top. Okay, these are the two ways, object name and variable. Object name and variable, what is that? Here in the program we have seen object name and variable. This is all. Object name is here and the variable. This is how I can access the member here, or else I can access the member function, access these variables with the help of function. This is what it is here, in plain English. Done. Okay. So rect one length is equal to 50. So this is one way. And the other one is that using functions. So second approach is to call the method directly inside. Okay. A field is a variable of any type that is declared directly in the class or struct. So this is a field definition. So the variables which are declared inside the class or struct are called as field here. And then we'll see about methods here. Okay, later on we'll see tomorrow. Today I think we end up here. Okay, close. Okay, guys, I'll post it here later. Huh? Is it okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, time being it is enough. Tomorrow we shall see about methods here, how to declare method, and this I think I have to prepare notes here. Okay. Tomorrow I'll make a preparation. Maybe on Monday I'll engage class. Okay, till then, goodbye. Take care. All the best. Done by. Huh? The end of the session.